Good morning, friends. How are you today? Are you ready to start another day? Are you ready for what the world is going to throw at us today? It's been a really challenging, 5 months now? Maybe longer. So many things have been going on. So much is difficult. And we can't forget that we're in a war zone. We're in a battlefield. A battle between Jesus and Satan. And we know who's won. We know Jesus has won. There's a couple scriptures I want to read today, but before that, I want to kind of mention, I told you last week that I've been reading, I finished it, but a couple books by and about Corrie ten Boom, who was a Dutch woman who helped to hide Jews during the Holocaust and was caught and placed in a concentration camp. And she talks about when she was a little girl, she would take the train into Amsterdam with her father. And it was a wonderful day and she loved it. And one day she came home and she became very, very fearful about death and about what the future would hold. Very, very scared. I don't know if you remember that. I remember as a child the first time I kind of really realized what death was and how scared I was. And her father took her aside and took her and talked to her and said, "Do you remember that when we go to Amsterdam on the train, when do I buy your ticket?" And she said, "Well, just before we get on the train." And he said, "Yes, and that is as soon as you need it. You don't need your ticket until just before you get on the train." That's how things are in our life with God. We don't need to worry about the future because He's going to give us what we need just before we need it. He's not going to give it to us early, and if we start all the worrying early, it's only going to cause us despair. So in thinking about that and thinking about everything that's been going on, there's so many things to worry about and so many battles. This past week, I've just heard so much bad news, so many sad stories. I've been praying and praying and praying about people I care about, people who are hurting, people who have lost loved ones, are afraid of losing loved ones, sometimes in a physical realm, sometimes in a spiritual realm, just in so many ways. The loss of those things we love and hold dear is so painful. And as I've said, it's Satan attacking us. Our country is divided. We're seeing divided families. We're seeing arguments over things that we shouldn't be arguing over. But a couple scriptures I want to read today. The first one is Psalms 144. I'm just going to read the very first part of it because it reminds us of who God is. "Blessed be God, my mountain, who trains me to fight fair and well. He's the bedrock on which I stand, the castle in which I live, my rescuing knight, the high crag where I run for dear life, while He lays my enemies low." I love that. My rescuing knight. How many of us women haven't dreamed when we were young of our rescuing knight? God is our rescuing knight. And He's bedrock for us to stand on. A high crag we run to. For any of you out there that love to rock climb, you know you can be above it all while He's laying your enemies low. The next one I want to read out of is Ephesians 6. And Paul says this: "God is strong, and He wants you strong. So take everything the Master has set out for you, well-made weapons of the best materials, and put them to use so you will be able to stand up to everything the devil throws your way. This is no afternoon athletic contest that we'll walk away from and forget about in a couple of hours. This is for keeps, a life or death fight to the finish against the devil and all his angels. Be prepared. You're up against far more than you can handle on your own. Don't days feel like that? Take all the help you can get. Get every weapon God has issued so that when it's all over but the shouting, you'll still be on your feet. Truth, righteousness, peace, faith, and salvation are more than words. Learn how to apply them. You'll need them throughout your life. God's word is an indispensable weapon. In the same way, prayer is essential in this ongoing warfare. Pray hard and long. Pray for your brothers and sisters. Keep your eyes open. Keep each other's spirits up so that no one falls behind or drops out." Be encouraged, my friends. We have the weapons, we have the tools, and we have a God that fights for us. I love you.